everybody, and welcome to another edition of Around the Rim. I'm out at Eagleville High School, and I'm with the head coach of the Lady Eagles of Eagleville, and I'm with head coach Chris Lynch. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for being with us. Well, tell us a little bit about who is head coach Chris Lynch. I'm a little bit ignorant. I don't know you that well, and our fans may not know you that are watching this. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm Chris Lynch. I'm 48 years old. I have been at Eagleville for 25 years.
Wow.
Graduated from here, and I've been coaching girls basketball for, I think this is my 18th year.
Wow.
I've coached football, baseball, driven for the volleyball team, so kind of done a little bit of everything here.
You're the utility guy of Eagleville High School, if there ever was one, Coach Lynch. You are. Let's talk a little bit about what is your coaching philosophy. I mean, you've been a coach for, as you said, for a long time. What have you learned? What's kind of your philosophy you want to get across, regardless of the season or whatever of the squad you got?
Well, I think ultimately we want to be a team that plays hard, gives a lot of effort, and always wanting to improve and trying to buy into that team aspect. You can have a lot of good individuals, but if you work together toward a common goal, I really feel like that's when you become a really good team. So we always try to, ultimately it's hard to coach players or a team that doesn't want to play hard and win ball games. And it's not all about winning, but when your goal is to work together and give everything you have, I feel like that is when you start maybe not winning a lot of games, but it's fun, and you have this sense of we're together and we have a common goal. So
You obviously been coaching for a long time. What do you think has changed with the kids that you try to, get that same message, or as the game changes, what's the biggest challenge you run into?
Well, I feel like the kids haven't changed. Things have changed around them, and once you get the girls to buy into what you're wanting to do and do it together, things go a lot smoother. Now, outside of the game, I think a lot has changed as far as like AAU and individual training and, specializing in one sport. We've lost a lot of girls to, want to do just this or just that. And I think it's an individual decision. I feel like I wish that parents would let students still play other sports and maybe not specialize in that sport. But I really feel like I really encourage my girls. I have a bunch of girls that play volleyball. I have several girls that play softball. I have girls that run track.
They're transferable skills, Coach. Your hand and eye coordination.
Yes, and I feel like you overtrain the same muscles a lot. And I feel like almost like if we have some girls that are really good volleyball players that play basketball. And I really feel like the break from volleyball to basketball is refreshing when you want to go back to volleyball.
It's a different sport. It's a start-stop, boys, versus I'm playing within this space.
Right. And, some kids may ultimately love one sport and they want to play it year-round, and that's fine. But I feel like the AAU scene has really, and I think it's done some great things. I'm not bashing it at all.
No.
I have players that play AAU, and I think it's been very beneficial. But I feel like at Eagleville we're very special in I would guarantee that we have more multi-sport players than any school in the county. It's highly encouraged across all of our sports. We have the number 4 rated softball player in the country as a freshman, Brindley Bain, and she plays basketball. And not only does she play basketball, she plays it at a very high level. Now, she trains almost year-round for softball, and she is a great softball player. You don't get ranked number 4 in the country if you're not great. So when you've got girls like that are extreme in one sport and still play another sport.
She's a competitor.
She's a competitor and she's an athlete.
Yeah.
And I would hate to see that taken away from her.
Well, and other kids in the school, because she's getting interaction, she's having a high school experience, so to speak, with her classmates. Isn't that what it's all about, Coach?
Right. last night in the game, we played at Community, and the atmosphere was great, and the game was close, and we always play them close, and it's a tough ball game, and we're rivals. It's right down the road, 8 miles, and during one of the timeouts, I said, hey, just enjoy this atmosphere.
I can't create this. Yeah.
Like, this is good.
Yeah.
Like, if you're playing, and you will remember games like this. This is fun. So, just kind of during a timeout, told them to kind of take that in. So
Yeah,
it was kind of fun.
Yeah, and speaking of that, so where is this Lady Eagles bunch? I mean, you feel like you've coached them. Your record right now, like you said, is 10-5. You got 15. You kind of got 10, 11 games left. 3-game week this week. You played last night, like you said. Got a game Friday, and then going to try to do one on Saturday with us.
Yeah.
What do you think this bunch is, and put some adjectives
Well,
and adverbs around this bunch?
Last year, we had it was the biggest team I've ever had as far as height. We had 4 girls that was 6 footer taller. We had one that was 6'3". Lost a lot to graduation. Had one transfer because her father, that was my assistant coach, got a head coaching job, so we lost her. And had a couple that aren't playing anymore. So we've gone from the biggest team I've ever had to the shortest team I've ever had in one season. So we had to completely change everything we were doing. We also went from one of the most senior heavy groups to one of the youngest groups I've ever coached. So
Boy, you can't teach experience.
you can't teach it, and it takes a while. You
Yes.
can teach it. It takes a while.
Yeah, well, it has to kind of happen as it happens,
Right.
and then you coach against it or coach with it, whichever way the experience went.
So we have one senior, Maddie Richter, and we have 2 juniors, Leah Fan and Alex Clare. The rest of our team, 3 sophomores and the rest freshmen. So we're very young, and hopefully we're improving as the season goes along, because hopefully our experience gets a little better. So we started out, had some tough stretches, and I feel like we've played a very tough schedule. And they have really surprised me in some of the games we've played. We have played 2 single A schools, and we're 10-5. So we've played 13 schools that were either 2, 3, or 4A. And so hopefully we have district starting Friday. Hopefully we're going to be battle tested, because our district is very good. We have 3 ranked teams in the rankings in our district. Well, 4 if you count us. 4 teams in one district that are ranked. So we have 1 at 6, 1 at 11. I think we were at 19, and Fayetteville City's at 20. So night in and night out in our district is going to be very tough. So
Going to eliminate a lot of the best competition in early going if you're lucky to get through it.
That's right.
Well, and not only that, you were talking about, what about Saturday? You're in the first match up against the Rockville Lady Rockets, and I've got to tell you, Coach saw a little bit of their video. Switching defense. They're going to play a 2-3. They're going to play a 1-3-1 half-court trap. They're going to diamond and 1 press. They could play a 2-2-1 press. That coach over there, he's really got a switching defense from what I can see on video.
I have not watched film on them yet. I'm really concerned about Friday night's district game, and we'll
Get through Saturday.
we'll get through Saturday. I have watched them in a play day and a scrimmage.
Yeah.
And I've seen them. I've seen them this summer, and so I know that they're a good team. They're deep. They're long. They're athletic. They switch defenses, and and they're big. And so something that I usually tell the girls, I think we've been the smallest team that we've played all year. We're the smallest group, and I say, hey girls, this team's big, and we're little, and we're fast. We just have to be faster than they're big.
Yeah.
So, and I know that Rockville's fast too. It's going to be an extremely tough matchup.
But it's going to be a good one, like you said. But
It
going
will
into
be.
this district, you probably need a little more of this before you head into all these district games you're going to be playing.
We do. And last year we played Clay County, and it was over a 2-hour trip. So I talked to Coach McLaren and said, look, we could go to Clay County and play again. Clay County's very good. We play teams sort of like Clay County, though. Last night's community team, they're they're a tough team. I felt like they're very comparable to Clay County. We can't get the same experience going to Clay County as we can Rockville, and it's right down the road.
Yeah.
Now,
bigger gate too, and your fans can get there, and the kids can get home. It's just a safer environment. I'm not trying to be
we're
mean.
going to drive 10 minutes instead of 2 hours, and we're going to get an experience that's a lot different than we would have gotten. So, we know that it's going to be a tough game. So, it'll be a fun game.
Yeah, and so you've been a part of this history and everything, and being a part of the very first Lady Eagles playing the Lady Rockets. How does that go with you? Because this will be the first time as far as since coming back and Rockville becoming a high school. I was talking to Coach McLaren, and his mother played for the Lady Eagles and stuff. So, what's this mean to you to coach this first bunch in this first big game?
I went to Rockville.
Okay.
I went K-8 at Rockville. So I grew up being against Eagleville.
Okay.
So I went to Riverdale for 2 years after Rockville, and then transferred out here, and fell in love with this place. Eagleville and Rockville have always been a big rival, very close. Used to be very big rivals, but since the schools, it was just elementary and middle.
Mm-hmm.
There were no teams. So now, fast forward to 2022, Eagleville High School, Rockville High School. So I have a lot of history at Rockville. I lived over near the Blackman area, which was kind of Rockville back in the day.
Wow.
I always wanted to go back to Rockville and be a coach there. But when I got out, it was an elementary school. Eagleville had a high school. I went here, and I ended up here, and it's been my home for a long time. So there is a lot of history, and so I think it'll be something pretty special, and hopefully it's something that will continue.
Yeah, and you all get the baton next year. Get to host this game. I feel like it'll be a big game for Rockville and everything. Anything you'd like to add before we close? Faculty, staff, administration here at Eagleville High School. I know it's fantastic under the direction of Bill Spurlock and everything. Anything you'd like to say about this year's teams, to the parents, to the kids? Anything? This will be the only time we get together this year. And
we have great community support, and that's been something that we, have always thrived on. We have great faculty support, administration support. So, it's just one of those things. And the boys and girls both had a state tournament run a couple of years ago, and the support that we got from the community was just amazing. And from the students, the faculty, and the staff, we did like a hallway walk and send off with the buses, and I don't know, it was pretty special.
All right, kids, that's Saturday. They're in the first matchup over at Rockville at the Space Center. It'll be the Lady Eagles and the Lady Rockets. That game's at 6, isn't it?
Yes.
Game tip-off is at 6. We'll see you there.